When I first started doing this, people used to ask me, how did you get started hang gliding, man? Sometimes when I'm up here, I wonder the same thing. About 10 years ago, I was painting the outside of this apartment building for a guy named Paul. At the end of the job, he said, "You did a great job, and I want to give you a present," and pointed at a hang glider. I said, "No thanks, man." I went back to my crazy life with my crazy friends. But I couldn't get the hang glider out of my mind, man. I didn't really tell my lady about it, because guys that did that were daredevils, and that just wasn't me. Me and my friends played softball, and that's about it. 5 years later, Paul hired me back, and I asked for the glider. He put the Cirrus 3 on my truck. Now, I had kayaked to Alcatraz.
Out here on Raccoon Straits, hanging out with all the big boys. Yeehaw! Sailboats and shit. And me. That's what normal people do. They take the ferry to Angel Island. But that's not how I roll. I take the Hobie. Directly ahead. Alcatraz, bitches. These pictures and videos are for all the people that told me that it can't be done. Well, I made it to Alcatraz. It's sad that I gotta leave this place. But I better go while the tide's still going the way I'm going. So otherwise it's gonna be miserable. It's 80 degrees right now. Yeah, it's 80 degrees. It's a nice breeze. Alright, I'm leaving. See you later.
I went spelunking 40 stories into the earth. But I never did anything like this, man. So I looked up hang gliding schools. And I signed up. That's when I called my buddy Scott. I said, I signed up for hang gliding. He said, hell no. And switched on his TV.
Jumping over the edge of a cliff probably isn't something most people consider, but that's exactly what a group of people in San Francisco do almost every single day. You may have seen them testing the limits with their hang gliders at Fort Funston. Tonight, I go for a ride above the fort and learn why they do it.
No way, he thought.
The birds here have already figured it out. The cliffs at Fort Funston are one of the best places on Earth to spread your wings.
The wind comes off the ocean and it kind of goes over the peninsula and back into the bay, kind of like a wave. The air is extremely smooth. We can fly year-round here.
Two members of the Fellow Feathers of Fort Funston invited me for a flight. First, you have to learn about the rigging and other basic skills as part of an instructional flight. After that, it's time for liftoff over the side of a 180-foot cliff.
Ask me if I'm nervous. Are you nervous? Yeah!
We cruised about 800 feet above the crashing waves of Fort Funston Beach.
Would you like me to do a wing over? If you feel comfortable. He says, I'm going to do a wing over.
The hang gliders are nimble, as you can see by the one that swooped right next to us.
Nice.
Nimble, but amazingly stable.
The way I describe it is kind of like a gondola ride without the wire.
Of course, things can go wrong.
So the camera broke off. What do you think, dude? Oops. I'm flying with one hand. Uh-oh.
A broken camera mount is far better than a crash.
Aviation is not forgiving of mistakes.
In hang gliding's infancy in 1974, there were 40 deaths. That number has been cut dramatically with better equipment and training. There have been an average of 4 deaths a year since 1993.
You can make it very dangerous if you're careless, if you make some real bad decisions.
Parachute pins.
Pilots also carry backup parachutes, but both John and Steve say in all their years they've never had to use them.
I've flown with golden eagles and bald eagles, red-tailed hawks and vultures of all sorts, and thermaling up in the air with them and getting up to cloud base is really an amazing experience.
All the problems that you have from day to day, when I get up in the hang glider, I can kind of zone out and I can be in the moment, and it's really kind of a Zen experience for me. I'm kind of connecting with the planet and connecting with nature, and it's a really amazing experience.
As long as the wind cooperates, you can fly for hours. Hang gliders can cost a couple $1,000s and up. Men and women, young and as old as 80, are fellow Feathers members. It may seem intimidating, scary even, but the payoff is amazing.
It is something that man has been wanting to do ever since the beginning of time. And for this very short period of time in our whole existence, we've been able to fly like birds, and we can fly like birds now.
I thought it'd be a lot harder, especially pushing that bar around, but it is actually very peaceful and easy, and I think you'd like it.
No, I wouldn't. I will experience and appreciate nature with my 2 feet planted firmly on the ground, but hats to you for doing it.
That's what I thought you'd say.
He switched the channel and he found this commercial.
I raced cars for about 7 years. Got banged up a couple of times, but nothing I couldn't handle.
No way.
Hang gliding just really drew me away from racing. I hold the world's record for the flights in Yosemite. I'm Eve's Tall Chief, and this is my story. I had a bad dislocation that kind of went sour years prior. I had damaged the rotator cuff and a couple other injuries to my shoulder.
Every time he'd go to land, his arm would just pop out of socket.
A lot of tests discovered that my shoulder was just destroyed. I kind of thought my flying days were over until I met the doctors at the Palo Alto Medical Foundation.
The only possibility for him to get back to what he wanted to do was to surgically repair his shoulder.
Dr. Murray just could see that I wasn't going to give up, and he didn't give up on me. He said, I can get you maybe back to 80%. And I said, well, I can live with 80%. Because hang gliding to me is just a part of my life.
We brought in a whole team to make him a special brace for his shoulder.
He was over in Yosemite at times with his cast on, still launching people on the rock up there.
Rather than 80%, I think I'm probably 97%. So they gave me more than I could ever ask for.
I'm thrilled. Eves has returned to hang gliding. His shoulder's fully recovered.
You can see on his face that he's happy as a clam flying around in the air.
Take that, Yosemite.
The care I got from Sutter Health and Palo Alto Medical Foundation, I think, is probably world class. I can't imagine going anywhere else and getting the care that I got. I know I can still fly these things, and I'm going to keep flying them, and probably till I'm 80, 90 years old. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. I'm Eve's Tall Chief, and that's my story.
Rest in peace, Eves. He called me and said,
Do it right now.
You will? So I decided to see what it was I was about to do.
Hang gliding is an escape from the gravity-secured penitentiary of everyday life.
Okay, this guy's crazy.
What do I feel like when I'm flying?
Freedom.
I feel free.
I feel freedom
It's just a sense of freedom.
I fly for the sense of freedom.
Wind in my face.
Soaring like a bird, doing whatever you please.
When you're flying, it's just you.
Just floating, free to observe the world from above.
The sense of peace and the sense of escape.
The whole freedom aspect, the control of what we're doing, the pursuit of lift.
It's a little bit like a yoga or like a moving meditation. I can make the feeling just about anything. I can be, you know, super chill to the point of like almost being able to fall asleep, or I can decide to make it wild and crazy.
Dude, I don't know if I could do that. But now here I am. With my crazy friends. Having the time of my life.
Hey, they're shooting at me.
My home majors launches at Lake Elsinore. This is the site where Wolfie got tossed. If you haven't seen it, check out Rhythm of Flight, Shit or Shoot. I don't know if she's thinking about that, but I would be. Nice job, Maho. See you later from the San Francisco Bay Area. Limitless has been a Saul Good Productions presentation. Peace.
I'll see that camera in the air.
Out.